Finnegans Wake by James Joyce, Book 1, Chapter 1. River run, past eaves and Adams, from swerve of shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious vicus of recirculation back to Howth Castle and environs. Sir Tristram, Violet d'Amour, frover the short sea, had Passencourt re-arrived from North America, on this side the scraggy isthmus of Europe Minor, to wielder-fight his pencil-lit war. Nor had Topsawyer's rocks by the stream oakenly exaggerated themselves. To Lawrence County's Gorgios, while they went to Dublin their Montper all the time, nor a voice from afar bellows Mish Mish to Toff Toff Throut Petrick, not yet, though Venesoon after. Had a kid's cat pretended a bland old Isaac, not yet, though all's fair in vanity, where Sosie Sethers wroth with Twone Nathan Joe, wrought a peck of Pa's malt, had Jem or Shan brewed by Arclight and Rory. End to the Riggin brow was to be seen ringsome on the aqua face. The foe, ba 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 dal gararakat, tak minirok brunt toner, ron tu tuantan, travavar, John skan tu hurden, en turnak. Of a once wall straight old par is retailed early in bed and later on life, down through all Christian minstrelsy. The great fall of the off-wall entailed at such a short notice. The fifth shoot of Finnegan, Ayre's solid man, that the Humpty Hillhead of Humself promptly sends an unquiring one well to the west in quest of his tumty-tum toes. And their upturned pike point in place is the knockout in the park, where oranges have been laid to rust upon the green, since Devlin's first loved Livy. What clashes here of wills, gin once, oystery gods, gaggin, fishy gods, brekek, quacks, 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 ooaloo, aloo, aloo, quaooloo, where the Balleries partisans are still out to math master Malachus McGrains, and the Verdons catapulting the cannibalistics out of the woot boos of Hoodie Head. Asiagates and boomerang strums, sods brew beamy fair, Sangler and Save, arms appeal with larms, appalling, killy kill killy, atoll atoll, what chance cuddlies, what cashels aired and ventilated, what by dime to loves, sin-duced by the to-go to Basalvers, what true feeling for theirs hair, with that strong voice of false Jacob. Oh, hear, hear, how hath sprawled met the dust the fathers of fornicationism, but oh, my shining stars embody, how hath fame spanned most high heaven, the sky sign of soft advertisement. But was is, Isut, ere were sewers, the oaks of old, now they lie in peat, yet elms leap, where asks lay. Fall if you will, rise if you must, and no so soon either shall the farce for the nuns come to the set-down secular fouinush. Bygmester Finnegan, of the stuttering hand, Freeman's Mower, lived in the broadest way imarginable, in his rushlet too far back for miswages, where Joshuan judges had given us numbers, or Helveticus committed Deuteronomy. One yeasty day he sternly struck his teat in a tub, for to watch the future of his fates, but ere he swiftly stuck it out again. By the might of Moses, the very water was evaporated, and all the Gwenesses had met their exodus, so that ought to show you that a Penshalchuchi chap he was, and during mighty odd years this man of hard cement and edifices and Topersthorpe piled buildung, supra-buildung pond, the banks for the livers by the Swangzo. He addle little Fifi Annie ooged the little crather, with her hair in Hans, tuck up your pot in her, oft while balbulous mithra ahead, with goodly trowel in grasp, ivor-oiled overalls, which he habitually fancied, like Haran Childeric Egbert, he would caligulate by the multiple cables, the altitude and multitude, until he saw by neat light of the liquor where twin 'twas born. His round head staple of other days to rise in undress, masonry upstanded joy granted, a wall worth of skyrscape of most Eiffel hoith and towerly, originating from next to nothing, and celescating the Heimels and all. Architect Tito Loftical, with a burning bush abob off its bubble top, and with Lawrence O'Toolers glittering up and tumbles of buckets clattering down. Of the first was he to bear arms and a name, Wassili Bujlau of Riesenborg, his crest of holdry, invert with ancillars, troublent argent, a he-goat, pursuant, horrid, horned. His scotchdom vest, with archer strung, Helio the second, hooch is for husbandman, handling his hoe. Ho, 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 Mr. Finn, you're going to be Minister Finnegans. Come day Mormon, oh, your vine, send days eve, and your vinegar, Mr. Fun, you're going to be fined again. What then, agent like brought about, and that trogody thunders day with this municipal sin business. Our cube house still rocks as he a witness to the thunder of his Arafatas, but we hear also through successive ages that Chevy Chorsh of uncalified muzzle-lenis Misselheims, that would black guard-eyes, the white horn, ever turtled out of heaven. Stay us, wherefore, in our search for righteousness. O sustainer, what time we rise, and when we take up to toothpick, and before we lump down up our leather bed, and in the night, and at the fading stars, for a nod to the neighbor is better than a wink to the Wabsanti. Other ways, like that provost scoffing Bedouin, the Jebel, and the Gypsian sea. Crop herb, the crunch bracken shall decide. Then we'll know if the feast is a fly day. She has a gift of sight on sight, and all casually answers helpers, the dreamy dearie. Heed, it may half be a misfired brick, as some say, as it mought have been due to a collapsus of his back promises, as others looked at it. Then extant by now 1,001 stories, all told of the same, but so sore did bite Evie's whole-eyed abbles, what with Walhall's horrors of Rolls-Royce, Garhack, Stonegens, Kistvins, tram trees, Fargo ballers, autokinetons, hippo hobblies, street fleets, Dornan taxes, megafogs, circuses, and wards moats, and basilicurks, and aeropagods, and the hoist, and the jolly brule, and the peeler in the coat, and the Mecklenburg bitch bite at his ear, and the Millenborough Burrocks, and his 4 old poor courts, the boar the moor, and his blight back working stacks at 12 pins a dozen, and the newbie buses slading along Safety First Street, and the daring jelly bees snooping around Tell No Taylor's corner, and the fumes and the hopes and the strumpy thump of his Ville's ingenious roam keepers, home sweepers, dome creepers, thrum thrum in fancy mud murmured, and all the uproar from all the roofs. A roof for May and a reef for Hugh Butt under his bridge suits Tony. One warning fill fit tippling full, his howd feeling heavy, his hoddet did shake. There was a wall of course in erection, dim. He stuttered from the ladder. Damn, he was a dud, dumb. Master Batum, master bad Tom, when a man marries his lutus all long, for whole the world to see. Scheiß? Why should she? McCool, or are we dee. Of a trying Thursday morning, sobs they sided at Finnegans Wake. All the hooligans of the nation prostrated in their consternation, and their dual dismally profusive plethora of ululation. There was plums and grooms and sheriffs and cithithers and raiders and cinnamon too, and all the old giant in with the shoutmost joviality, Agog and Magog, and the round of the Magrog, to the continuation of that celebration until Hanan ad Hunnigan's extermination. Some in kinking chorus, more can keening, belling him up and filling him down. He's stiff, but he's steady as Priam Olim. 'Twas he was decent gay labouring youth, sharpen his pillow scone, tap up his beer. Where in this whirl would ye hear sich a dean again? With their deep brow fundigs and the dusty fidelios. They laid him broad on a lang last bed, with a apocalypse of Finnisky for his feet, and a barrow load of Guinness whore his head. Tea the tootle of the fluid hang, twaddle of the fuddled. Oh, hurrah, there is but young glee for the owl. Globe wheels in view, which is tautologically the same thing. Well, him being so on the flounder of his bulk, like an overgrown babbling, let we peep see at hum. Well, see, PG-ought, platter plate hum, from Shopalis to Ballywick, or from Ashton to Barrow-Noath, or from by the banks to round the head, or from the foot of the bill to Ireglyn's eye, he calmly extensoles, and all the way a horn from fjord to fjell in his bay winds, obobos shall wail him, rock-bound, hoa, 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 in swim, swam, and all the livy-long night, the dale, dabbling night, the night of bluery bells, her flit of flute in tricky troches, O Cariña, wake him, with her Hissavan Essavans and her Padajak Mortons, all about them ins and ouses, tilling a teal of a tum, telling a toll of a teary, dirty tobling, grace before glutton. For what we are, jibs a gross, if we are about to believe. So pull the bag and pass the kish for cross sake. Omen, so sighs, Grandpoopoos is fallen down, but Grinny spreads the board. Weighs on the joint of a dash. Fin fo from the foosh, wise be his bacon head, a loaf of Sing Pantry's Kennedy bread, and weighs hitched to the hop in his takesel, a glass of Daniel Dunus, foremost old doubling ale. But lo, as you would quaff off his fraud stuff and sink teeth through that pith of a flower-white body, behold of him as a behemoth, for he is nowhere more. Finish. Only a photograph of a yestern scene, almost Rubicon, Salmosolar, ancient from out the ages of Agapemonides. He is smolten in our midst, woe be canned and packed away, so that the meal's dead off for salmon, schluck, schließ, and good ritterhering. Yet, may we not see, till the Brantoich Thean form outlined a slumber even in our own night time, by the sedge of the troutling stream that Bronto loved and Brunto has a lean on. Hiccuput edilis apud libertanim parvulam. What if she be in fligs or flitters, reeky rags, or sun-dyed josies, with a mint of minds, or beggar a pennyweight? Arrah, sure, we all love little Annie Rooney, or, we mean to say, love little Annie Rainini. Where under her brella, mid piddle med puddle, she ninny goes nanny goes nancing by, yo, Brandrelum slaps, yo, snores. Upon Ben Heather and Sibyl he's out too, the chronic head on him caster of his reasons, Pier Yunther and Yon Smist, who's his clay feet, swaddled in verdigras, stick up stark where he last fell on him, by the mound of the magazine wall, where our Maggie seen all with her sister in shawl. While over against this belly's alliance, behind ill 60, oh lo lo, the ill bagsides of the fort, bam tarapam tarabam, lurk the ambushes, the sight of the lifting in weight of the upchuck and hockums. Hence, when the clouds roll by, jammy a proud's eye view is enjoyable of our mounding's mass. Now, Wallingstone National Museum with, in some greenish distance, the charming Waterloose country, and the two quite white villagettes, who here show of themselves so gigglesomes minks the foliages. The pretty lace penetrators are permitted into the museum mound free, Welsh and the Paddy Pankinsons, 1 shilling. Redismembers, invalids of old guard find pussy proud to sate the sort of their butt, for her passkey supplied to the janitrix, the Mistress Keith, tip. This the way to the museum room, mind your hats going in, now he's are in the Wellington Museum room. This is Prusige's gun, this is a French tip. This is the flag of Prusiges, the cap and sorcerer. This is the bullet that bing the flag of the Prusias. This is the French that fire on the bull that bang the flag of the Prusias. Salus the cross gun. Up with your pike and fork. Tip, bull's foot fine. This is the tipple one hat of Lipolium. Tip, Lipolium hat. This is the Willingdon on his same what horse. The cooking hap. This is the big shrouded Willingdon, grand and magentic, in his gold tin spurs and his iron dukes, and his quarter brass woody shoes, and his magnate's garters, and his Bangkok's best and Goliar's galoshes, and his pull upon easy on war shoes. This is his big hide horse. Tip. This is the 3 Lipolium boyne grouching down in the living ditch. This is Eeny my skill in English. This is a Scotcher grey, this is a Davy stooping. This is the bog Lipolium mordering the Lipolium beg. A Gallagher's argument. This is the petty Lipolium boy that was neither bag nor bug. I say, to Cholet Fitz, to Anmush, Dirty McDyke, and Harry O'Hurry, all of them arminous varminous. This is Dillian Alps, this is Montetivil, this is Montipsy, this is Grand Mons Ingen. This is the Crimealine of the Alps, whooping to shelter shock the 3 Lipoliums. This is the Ginnies with their Leghorns, fainting to read in their handmaid's book of astrology, while making their war undeceeds. The Willingdon. The Ginny's is queen in her hand, and the Ginny's is rave in her hair, and the Willingdon get the band up. This is a big Willingdon memorial, taloscope window worker, obsidies on the flanks of the Ginnies, sex caliber, Ross power, tip. This is me, Belcham, sneaking his Philippi out of his most awful grimace, sunshot Cromwelly. Looted. This is the Ginnies, has to dispatch for to irrigate the Willingdon, dispatch in thin red lines across the shorefront of me Belcham. Ya, lieber Othram fear sicken, field gaze thy tiny frau, hug Acton, nap. That was the tic-tacs of the Ginnies, for to Fontenoy, the Willingdon, she, the Ginnies is Gillius Agan courting all the Lipoliums, and the Lipoliums is gone, boy cotton crazy, onto the one Willingdon. And the Willingdon get the band up, this is Bode Belcham, bonnet to Busby breaking his secret word with a bowl up his ear to the Willingdon. This is the Willingdon's hurled dispatch back. Dispatch desployed on the regions rare of me Belcham. Salamangra, aye. Cherry Ginnies, fig tree you, damn fairy and voutre. Willingdon, That was the first joke of Willingdon. Tick for tack. This is me, Belcham, in his 12-mile cow chooks. Wheat, tweet, and stand forth foremost, footing the count for the ginnies. Drink a sip, drank a sip, for he's a sooner buy a Guinness than he'd stale store stout. This is Rushinus balls. This is Trinch. This is Mistletoes. This is Cannon Footer with the puppy nose. After his 100 days indulgence, this is the blessed Tara Widars. This is Ginny's in the bonny bound booches. This is Lipoliums in the rowdy houses. This is Willingdon by the splinters of cork, order fire, Tonneray, bulls here, play. This is Calmary, this is Flutens. This is Sulphurines in action. This is their mobile, this is their panic burns. Almia de God, Arthy's too loose. This is Willingdon cry. Brum, brum, come brum. This is Ginny's cry. Underwetter. Goat strip thin lambs. This is Ginny's winning away to their ousterless dowen a bunker shields, with a nip nippy nip and a trip trippy trip so airy. For their hearts right there. Tip. This is me, Belgium's. Thank you, seal vous plate, for kitchen the crepes in the cool of his canister. Pour the pay. This is the Bismarck of the Marathon Mary of the Ginnies they left behind them. This is the Willingdon Brandish, his same armorial telescope, Sophie Po, for his royal diversions on the Renoé Ginnies. Gambarista de la Porca, de la Veras Fimirieras. This is the pettiest of the Lipoliums. Toffee Chief, that spy on the Willingdon from his big white horse. The Cape and Hope Stonewell Willingdon is an old maximum through many. Lipoliums is a nice hung bushel blowers. This is Hyena Hennessy laughing aloud at the Willingdon. This is Lipsig Dooley, creating the funk from the Hennessy. This is Hindu Shimar Shin between the Dooley boy and the Hennessy. Tip, this is the Wixie old Willingdon, picking up half of the three-foiled hats of Lipoliums from out of the bloodal filth. This is the Hindu waxing Ranjimad for a bomb shoob. This is the Willingdon hanking the half of the hat of Lipoliums up the tail on the buckside of his big white horse. Tip, that was the last joke of Willingdon. Hit, hit, hit. This is the same white horse of the Willingdon, Copenhagen.